Hey, 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 hey! What's up, people? It's the after show. Throw Chris
Oh.
up too. And
I'll
Chris
see
didn't
you
vote.
all in there. Don't forget to exit out of this one, otherwise we'll get. Oh, hang on! I didn't even know I was up. I
Yeah.
didn't know you put me in. Oh, there you go. See, I was having the conversation backstage, thinking, there we go. All right, well, hello and welcome to the after show. Welcome
All right.
to Jay's after show.
Yeah, I will be right back, though. I have got to pee.
Way too much.
Don't take your microphone with you.
All right, so now that Jay's gone, isn't it nice?
Are you taking over the after show now?
Yeah, I'm stealing his show. Now, we have put. If anyone does want a link, just let us know, and we will throw the links out to you all. This is just kind of an open hangout sort of thing, where we're just kind of doing what we're doing, and I don't know what that is because Jay's organised it, but as he has told everyone, he's gone to pee.
Fortunately, I had that bit muted.
Well,
As he does.
Yeah. See, I didn't even know he's. I sent the thing live, and I was down in the background, and he just put everyone up, and he's like, "Hey!" I was like, "Oh, Jay's already started the show," not realizing that I was on there as well. So that's Jay.
Well
That's
done.
Jay. All right, Rage. I will shoot you a link now on the Twitter. Rage, do you want it on Twitter or Facebook? I'll send it to you on. There, I'll just send it to you on. Really good. Haven't chatted to Rage for ages.
Yeah.
Although, I guess the Virillions comment, that's still not going to be much more than what other people have done in the past.
One side of two.
Yeah, that's no difference, Berlin. You may as well hop in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So we don't have to behave here. Is that it? Like,
No, it's worse than six
Oh no,
pack.
this is like a free for all. This is like
Oh.
This is like old fashioned six pack.
Okay.
yeah. So what are you all drinking?
So now I've become the sensible. Actually,
No
Chris,
coffee.
because I've now finished what I did have, I'm trying to
What's
think
next?
what I'll have. It's probably going to be a whiskey, because what else would it be?
Have a whiskey for me, would you? Because I'm I miss whiskey. I miss whiskey.
Now, I imagine other people in the chat will be having
Whiskey
something.
on
So
a Friday.
counts. Give me a
So-
second.
Yeah.
This is how we're, just to make sure, if after 2 weeks, then this is how we're going to start doing it, the show and then the after party.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long does that last?
Until the daylight savings switches back over. So so basically the plan's going to be for half the year it'll be with the after show, and for the other half of the year it'll be the pre-show into the main one. So with this one, Jay's basically, we've said with Jay he can run it for as long as he feels like. Yeah.
Mhm.
Here he is, the man himself.
It is.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on?
How are you, mate?
Hey.
Getting over a flu, so we'll see if I can think straight this morning.
If you can't think straight, you're in good company.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all about
We've
that.
got Ed.
Yeah, it's been a while. How are y'all doing?
Why is Ed in the middle? I actually, of course, because Ed's the cleaner, isn't he? This is.
There you go. What happens when you got too many cooks?
Oh my gosh.
I say great minds think alike, Jay, but it's not obviously great
That was
minds.
funny.
It's-
Two things. Chris, will that do? And hello, Raging, because
Chivas Regal's yummy.
What's the age on it?
This is just the extra. It hasn't got the age on it.
Is
don't
that
know
the
what
one
it
that's
is.
got the that's matured in the brandy vats?
Sherry.
Cherry vat,
Ooh,
sorry.
yeah, that'll be
Sherry
That's
one.
so yummy. Now I want some. Damn it.
I actually,
I can't.
I was half tempted to say it on Six Pack, but I guess I can say it now. Is it the other week? One of the streams I did with you, Jen, was right after I'd been chatting with mates online because we can't go out. So it might have been the Titanic one. I forget which one it was. And I didn't drink on Jen's stream, but I'd had like a hard cider and then I'd had like 4 or 5 whiskeys before I'd been on.
And to be fair,
Yeah.
it was mostly Matt and Jeff who ran that stream because
Yeah.
they knew the history way better than I did.
I like that. Whiskey matured in the skull of my enemies.
You probably would have enjoyed that stream too, Chris, but you were house moving at the time, so.
Yeah, you know, I did catch it. I did catch it.
Also,
I catch
to
it- I
everyone
catch it
else out there with a drink, whether it be whatever that drink is, coffee, tea, whatever, as long as you're enjoying it, cheers.
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 You know,
Cheers.
I can do better.
Yes.
I can do better. Yeah. I think my mic is good enough.
Cheers.
Oh,
There you
Oh,
go.
that was
that
a
was
really
pleasant.
nice kind of. That was like a ka-ching sound.
Yeah,
was a
you
nice-
get the proper whiskey glasses do really like they have a nice ring, but they got to be about this size. The mini ones don't work.
So in typical pre-post show fashion, we have submissions from Digital Demonic Davros.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
So due to YouTube and their stupidity of copyright stuff, I can't play the audio. But this is from the movie Snatch. So there you go. If it'll load.
Oh, he
Come
loves
on,
that
it was
reface.
just loading.
Mhm.
Never wants to work for you.
Come on.
And I thought Chris's internet was bad.
No, it was just playing.
Verillion, I've put the link in the Discord. Well, the links. Anyone who's on our Discord, links there. I think
Well,
we
while
can
that
have
one,
up-
while that one is having issues, let's try this one instead.
What's a bit? It has issues.
Oh, 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 ow.
Come here, fat boy. Zombieland.
Mate,
That's a great movie.
You've definitely got a face for radio.
I do.
So, Knock, what's going on, man?
That
What's
one
the
will
latest?
not
What's
play.
happening?
Oh, not much. I've been doing my thing. I see the whiskey, and I'm like, man, it was nice when I had an excuse, but now I don't.
Do you need one?
No, I quit drinking like a year ago, but there's been a few instances since then that it's like I might as well have been.
Just remember, it's always Friday night in Australia. So,
But
Verillion, what's going on?
it's
Come
always
on.
drink o'clock somewhere.
Hey, Jay, check the private chat.
I will.
You're not sending dick pics again, are you, Ed?
No.
That's
How are you,
great.
Verillion? What's going on, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Just working, tired, long week.
Having fun?
Having fun.
The end of the week. Yeah.
Good to see all the Aussies are having one. Oh, we just lost Ed. Oh, no.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
Jay just dropped
maybe-
out, Ed.
Maybe he's on a coffee refill.
I don't know. I don't know where he's gone. I don't know where he's gone. It's,
That's what I
it'll-
need to.
Yep.
Sure,
I
sure
drink
he'll
far
come
too
back
much
at some
coffee
point.
while I do this show.
Oh,
Hey,
and your cheeks, right, Jade? You saw
Yes,
that coffee,
always.
and then my cheeks, like, and I have to stream later today. I don't know. I don't know.
Hello?
No, we've got someone.
Oh
who's
no!
come to say hello to you.
Our worst enemy has arrived.
Hello.
favorite-
Oh,
Mate.
That's me.
oh no. Hey,
Um,
I've never been on stream with this guy before.
Haven't you?
Well, hello, Claire S. Bear, if that's your real name.
Of
The
course.
Raging Atheist.
It's actually Claire S. Duck.
Yeah, or Ada.
What's up,
Depends
Darth?
on what
It's
No,
been a
you're
while.
doing.
no. The S stands for drop, Bear.
Why is everyone
Damn you,
interrupting me?
Matthew!
I was told I'd be allowed to speak if I came on here. Why is everyone interrupting
Absolutely,
me?
Darth.
Because you
stop
were
me.
lied
we-
to.
we
Bob.
apologise. We love
absolutely
you.
lied to. Okay,
You
sorry.
said you wanted to talk to the Raging Atheist. So, Darth,
Yeah, it's been a while, Darth. Last
Yes.
time we spoke, he was telling me how I'm the type of person that has Thanksgiving dinner, invites the family over, and they get there and there's no turkey.
Well, that's because you're an atheist and you don't know how to worship the Lord.
True. It might be because I don't know how to cook a turkey, but
probably part of it.
Well, have
The last turkey in the shop.
I'm
There you
going to ask you a question, Darth. Has your mum been spending a bit of time with our very own Ed?
I've refused to speak of that horrible person.
What, your mother? She's lovely.
She's
lovely.
lovely.
How dare you say that about
Yeah.
Shmee?
How can she
No.
be horrible when she gives you
was-
her basement to live in?
I was speaking. I
No,
was
we don't do
speaking of that person who thinks he's God.
Oh, your daddy.
Oh.
Daddy Ed.
Well,
He is not my daddy. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to address the raging atheist. Have you ever contemplated?
Do you want the raging
your-
atheist to be your daddy?
No.
No, I mean, there's
possible.
definitely a question there, Darth. I mean,
Yeah.
who is your daddy?
I want him to realize that he would stop raising if he would understand who the ultimate prime is.
It's the orange.
it's orange. Definitely.
Yeah, it's the orange, not the apple. We had this
Well,
conversation, Darth.
Yes, but if you would come to realize that there is only one true ultimate prime, you may be a happier person.
But there's no such thing as an ultimate prime, Darth, because prime numbers continue on to infinity.
We're not speaking of mass. Thank you. Now the raging atheist. I've noticed that you.
Oh, hang on, Darth, hang on.
I thought Optimus died.
Somebody wants to talk to you, Darth.
Oh, you're in trouble now, dude.
Mother, now is not the time, Mother. Please
Mom's
go back
after
to
you.
cooking dinner.
I need to meet your friends. What's wrong with me meeting your friends? They're lovely.
We
Hey,
love
Shmi,
her.
it's so nice to see you again.
Oh, it's
Mother,
so lovely.
these are not my friends. These are
Where's
enemies.
Ed? Is he around?
These are enemies of the ultimate prime, Mother. They are not my friends.
Then why do you keep talking to them constantly?
I can't.
That picture, man.
Ed. Oh god. Ed. Come back. Oh, Ed. Oh my
That was
god.
the best.
Oh, Ed number 8. Okay, Ash.
That was too good.
That was so good.
Oh shit, we broke Ed.
He's broken.
You broke. Oh, Ed. Don't cry, Ed. Don't cry.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we broke Ed.
Oh,
Oh, gosh.
I couldn't hold back anymore.
All right.
Five pounds from God the
£5
Scummer.
super chat.
5 pounds
Yeah,
from
Ed-
God the Scummer. Darth,
Ed, would you
don't
like
be
to
rude
read
to
it?
your mother. Just wait until Ed gets home.
Like somebody's got to send that to Tom Rabbit. It's got to happen.
Oh,
that
man.
actually hurt. Oh.
We have
my.
fun. If nothing else, we have fun. Hey, look, you know what? Darth's a piece of shit. So, I have absolutely no problems.
Hey, don't forget, anybody who buys Darth Dawkins Reads the Bible merchandise will be helping donate to the Trevor Project in Darth Dawkins' name.
Absolutely.
You know,
Which is
it's funny when
charity.
when Jen mentioned doing the real Darth Dawkins stand up, please stand up. Like I was like, I have to do this because I see like 150 Darth Dawkins clones pop up every single day. And it's getting harder and harder to find the real Darth Dawkins in the crowd.
Oh, that's a
it's gotta
good
be
visual.
done.
Real
It's
Dawkins,
gonna
Which
have
is
to
real
be
Dawkins.
done.
You could like put all the pictures up, like popping in and out as you're doing the rap. That would be so cool. I could see it. I could and hear it. Yeah.
It's like a trinity of Darths out there.
Oh, did you guys see V's response to the Darth Dawkins clone Robin?
Which one?
Right?
No,
I
I
want to
haven't.
see this.
I haven't.
This was good.
Oh man,
You
that
have
was freaking great. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, V just went off. She had they had enough.
V and Eric are very nice.
Yeah.
I like their shows.
Yeah, they're
I do
good
too.
people.
Yeah.
They're
I
good
do
people.
too.
So Knock, what do you think? Do I do a pretty good Darth?
Are you muted, Knock?
I do that once a day. You got the voice down for sure. You just got to throw, you got to find that place where you absolutely hate all life, and then you'll have it down.
So check this out. This is great. Oh, wait a
It's
minute. Let
muted.
me unmute it. There you go.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I banned him though. Like he's banned. He's not supposed to call in.
I thought it was just taking a break.
It wasn't a long enough break. But also like it sounds like he's asking that put him on.
Okay.
Robin
I love thee.
in DC. Why are you calling back?
I just had like a question because this is something that I asked a lot of atheists that I talked to, and maybe you guys could answer it, especially since the name of your show is Skeptic Generation.
Wait a minute. Wait. Do you realize you're calling the same show you've been calling regularly? Like, you know who we are, right? You remember us? Okay.
Yeah.
This sounds like a script. Are you running a script?
Oh, it's not. No, I'm not running a script.
Okay, what's the
It's a
question?
legitimate question.
All right. What's the question?
Well, I mean, the show is called Skeptic Generation. We were just talking with someone who claimed to
Wait for it.
believe that it's feasible. In your worldview as an atheist, why would anything be outside of belief? And what grounds would you be critical about things associated with here?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, Robin. I actually got a little look into the back end of what goes on with you and your Discord server while we're on the call, and the names that we get called, and the words that Darth Dawkins tells you to say to us. I know it happens. I heard the recording myself. So tell Darth, go fuck himself.
Kirby.
I have a hero now.
Dawkins is a fucking transphobe. He has insulted multiple people on air. He calls us names. He calls Robin. Hey, Robin, go call them and ask them this, which is why it sounds like a script, because it is. It's a fucking script. It's the same question we've answered 5 times. And I'm not gonna fucking waste my time anymore. I'm sorry.
If you have other things to ask, go for it. But if you're going to come in with the presupposition that only you can access truth, and then dip, dodge, duck, dive, and dodge, and not have to explain your own shit, it doesn't add any potency. It doesn't add anything to the argument that you're making. If you want to say that you have the access to truth that we don't, prove it. Show your work. If you don't want to do that, or you want to rely on berating, belittling, and name calling, and just weird shit like that, or straw manning, which you did right out the gate, you can go and fucking play with your friends elsewhere.
Now it's funny because if you scroll down and you look at here, where's that the recorded conversation that V referenced to? Here's the link.
Oh, brilliant!
I seen that. I'm like, go V.
Can someone send me the link to that? I've got to give him an extra view.
Yeah.
Let me.
That was brilliant.
Can you put it in the private chat, Jay?
I'll put it in the private chat and in the.
And
our friends here.
Tangelo.
Tangelo's there, yeah.
No, you know,
I already gave our Tangelo an
I
answer
told
to
everyone that
Darth
Tangelo would show up. No one believed me. I said he will show up.
We said his name too many times.
Yeah.
That's all right. Tangelo's all right. He's okay.
OG can smell me a mile away. When I'm on, he knows. He knows. What's up, OG? I should say, what's up, Marvin? Hello, Marvin.
Who?
Tangelo only showed after Smee arrived.
There's a conspiracy.
Yes.
I lovingly refer to OG as Marvin the Martian. Check it out. You'll see.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that.
Also, Tangelo, when's round 3?
Yeah, no, that's on
Yeah.
organised. Sorry, that's my bad.
I've lost 2. I want to win 1.
You aren't winning. You don't have a blog.
I know. I lost
Oh.
against Numpty. I've lost against Atangelo.
And
Twice.
Otangelo, I've been on that server, and that is a fucking cesspool.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually tempted to go on the server, record the whole thing, and live stream it for fun.
Yes. Okay.
I will join that stream.
How long?
And aside
We'll
from
run a
that,
competition. Who can
Potentially,
get
what would be
muted
the point of
fastest?
me going on that server? Because Darth would just insult me and then ban me. So there's no point.
Yeah.
I get you, Sandy. I get you.
Hey, actually, wait a minute. I wouldn't be well enough known. I could go on with my full, like, almost
Not
adopted-
anymore. You just told Antangelo.
Yeah, you're screwed.
You're screwed.
Atangelo, you're not allowed to tell him.
Yeah, Tangelo, keep our secrets. We're gonna have fun with Darth. Hey, you reckon I could go in as Shmi?
That doesn't sound right.
I love
Not
OG.
right.
OG's Facebook is my favorite place.
We were talking about that. Yeah, we were talking about his Facebook earlier.
Oh man, it's
a fun
awesome.
place.
Like
It's a fun place.
he put something out yesterday, and he had some comment about it. How one of his commenters were like, atheists, all they have is their repetitive cliches, lame excuses, parroted regurgitations. And I had to respond. I'm like, parroted regurgitations. At least ours aren't thousands of years old. You know, so I have fun with OG. We have fun together.
We could do a stream on reading Atangelo's Facebook because honestly, there's some.
It's
Tangelo,
fun, man.
Tangelo put some stuff up, but there's some fucking wackos who jump on with him.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like just leaving stuff and leaving it there, and then 3 days later I have like 75 comments.
I got bored one day and just decided to go back and forth with people, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Maybe I should show up and join as well.
Oh,
we got.
What?
You didn't show up.
Killing the channel.
I have to address this one. Okay.
Hang on, what
That
is
is
it?
not.
I want to see
what
the
happened.
comments.
That is not what happened. What I said was, this is not the time nor the place to bring up your religion. If you want to talk cults and conspiracies and cryptids, that's fine. But bringing
Wait,
your religion into this show is
Can you
not
just
what
go off a
nobody
bit?
threatened.
I didn't
to-
read the end of it.
That nobody.
Sorry, because I was
threatened-
there as well.
Yeah, nobody threatened to mute you unless it was in the side chat and I missed it because we didn't threaten to mute you. We just told you no religion in this show.
So can you go? Because I missed how that ended. Sorry, my bad. I'm a slow reader.
It says
And can we just smack Terry Farrell for a second because the Big Bang isn't an explosion.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Nothing went
I will say
bang.
this though, Tangelo is promoting the show. I mean,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll go with that. I'll take the free
And
advertising.
Look, I do have to say this: of all
Right,
the
Sandy.
debates, of all the internet debates and discussions I've ever had, Atangelo is my favorite person to ever chat to. Now, that being said, I've only ever talked to two different people, and Atangelo is one of those. So it's
Well,
not a
I've
long
talked
list
to-
yet.
I have a
And
long
Numpty is
list.
dreadful.
I have a long list, and I actually love talking to Otangelo. He's caught me a couple times. I have fun with him, but he's a smart dude, and it's I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to the guy.
Yeah, we got a round 3 coming up, but
I say smart loosely there, very loosely. OG, don't get all your head all blown up.
well, see, that's the thing. When people like chat to me about intelligence or intelligence levels, I'm like, it's not one thing. It's you got to consider single topics in your intelligence / knowledge on that
I've
one
met some
topic.
pretty dumb atheists. I'll be honest.
Oh yes, and things you could be really, really good at one thing. You could know, let's say, how to do like set theory brilliantly and still be an idiot in everything else. You could build the best house and still not know, how to operate a computer. They don't go together. So that's why it's
me.
like when you. So if I'm going to call someone an idiot, it's not that I'm calling everything they do an idiot. It's just that one topic that I'm chatting to. But
I agree wholeheartly, and I use the idiot term a lot. And of course, you're not stupid in everything. You're just stupid about what we're talking about.
I've met some very smart Christians and some very dumb Buddhists.
Oh god.
I only know one Buddhist, but that's okay.
I need more shivers than I've got. Although, Ed, I really didn't know you were in the Navy at any point. Did you serve with the Soviet Union?
He was in the Russian Navy.
And the hunt
Comrade.
for October.
I didn't know I could call you comrade, Ed.
God damn it.
Ed's done a lot of things that people are very surprised about. I mean, he's had a fairly eventful kind of time out there, hasn't he?
I mean,
Ed?
he was in the Village People. He was there. He was there at JFK's assassination.
Uh-huh.
I reckon he was the second gunman.
He met with the Queen.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures. It's amazing.
Yeah, we picture proof, and don't let the flat earthers tell you it's photoshopped. It's not.
Well, although you got to admit, Ed has one really big advantage if it comes to a debate with someone like Ken Ham, because Ed was there.
You know what? I'm going to start doing that. The next time they ask, were you there? Yeah. Prove I wasn't.
Were you there to prove I wasn't?
I mean,
Ed was already 70 years old when the Big Bang occurred. So,
I mean, Ed knows a lot of people. I mean, did you hear about the time that Ed met Joe Biden?
Oh,
God.
well, that's a friendly. That's a nice friendly meet there.
That was a fun day.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, this is probably the best picture of were you there ever?
I do like that one.
I'm personally a big fan of the time that Ed went on an adventure with his very good friends. That was really good. That was entertaining.
No, yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no! Didn't work.
Oh, Dora.
There we go. So that was good.
Dora,
You know, hanging out with Squire the Fox and Boots and whole gang.
Yeah.
I mean, Ed had a pretty good TV career, didn't he? So I mean, he really did have a really, really good TV career, Chris.
He did. Mm-hmm. He did. Hang on. Not that quick.
Yes, some of us here are a bit slow.
Yeah, well, you spend enough time with Jay, and it'll happen to the best of us. I don't know. I was a big fan of the time that he was on the Ed Sullivan Show. Personally, that was good when
that was good. That was good
when he showed up there. Oh, far out the flashing.
I love his guest spot here, though. This was great.
Yeah, I mean that was amazing. But how did we get the two of them in the same place at once?
He doesn't love Ed.
No.
I've got to say, Knock, I've seen you talk to a bunch of fucked up people. Smokey Saint. I mean, all them. Fucking preacher, man.
Oh yeah, he's got to be the worst. I think
he is. Yeah, I mean, I would rather listen to Darth and Smokey Saint than listen to that guy ever again.
Oh, dude, and since I talked to him, he's in my emails every day. You haven't? Oh, you haven't seen the preacher?
Oh, no.
The preacher. He can't sin. You know, he's perfect. And once you're a follower of Jesus, you are no longer capable of sin. So I literally asked him the question. So, you can just go out and rape and murder. And he's like, yeah, but you should follow the laws of man. I'm like, that's not a good answer.
Oh,
you did Knock did a 4.5 hour stream where he had other people come in and talk to preacher. And oh my God.
Yeah, it was something else. He is probably, I've talked to a lot of people. Smokey, he's reprehensible. Matt Powell, reprehensible. The preacher, just straight crazy, insane.
I don't think I'd get very far with Matt before I was punching my own computer screen because
I met him twice in person. I could have punched him.
You did that whole video with him. You did I don't know how you managed to not strangle him in that time. I was kind of expecting a Homer Simpson type thing. But-
honestly, I still don't know how either, especially considering how he butchered it. I should have.
Have you come across why non-believers are idiots yet?
Oh, that guy Numpty.
No.
I had the misfortune of doing a debate / discussion. I don't like formal debates as much online, but
Hey, Knock.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Matt Powell has a partner now.
Yeah,
He does.
He definitely. I'm wondering if he took the bouncy banana in his backyard from Michigan to Kent Hovind's compound.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, he was from Michigan.
Yeah, he as far as what I'm hearing, he lives on Kent Hovind's compound now.
He's moved down there. Yeah.
No, from what Matt Powell was from Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That's where most of my problems came. The NIFB had kind of taken over northern Michigan, and there's a bunch of them up there. So yeah, Matt Powell was up there, and when we had our beef, that's where I got a lot of my threats and stuff.
God, what part of northern Michigan? Because I want to stay away from that. You're talking City, Gaylord.
Yeah, it's way north up there.
Charlevoix.
Yeah, past Saginaw. So yeah, you're getting way north. But when I met him, it was in Lansing. I believe he comes from money, so I think his parents had like a summer house in Lansing.
I've actually got the picture of him and Kent together. Stupid.
They're my new favorite duo.
Son of
I've known Matt for a while. Matt loves his suits. To see him in that Hawaiian shirt, it's just like, yeah, you're such a sellout.
Hey, no, love is love.
Yeah, I love how Christian that organization is, yet they wanted to make death threats and everything against Knock and his family, and
they're gun-toting lunatics. The NIB they're just dangerous. Unfortunately, the United States government can't do shit because that whole constitutional thing.
Yeah, it's a religion.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
People often ask me like, they're just another Westboro Baptist Church, and I'm like, no, Westboro Baptist Church does some awful things. They don't go around with semi-automatic assault rifles as they do it.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
This is why I love the line from Monty Python. You better pray there's intelligent life somewhere up in space, because there's bugger all down here on Earth.
It's bugger all down here for sure.
I love Monty Python.
Classic.
Spoiler alert for my next video.
I love. I use the old Monty Python Spanish Inquisition clips all the time. I never get it. I never get tired of it.
I'm like Jaden. I can't get a word in over Knox, so.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm still a bit sick, so I'm chattering. I'll mute for a bit.
No, you're good.
You're good.
Going back to preacher though, I had asked in the chat. I said, in Buddhism, there is no such thing as sin. You are responsible for your right and wrongdoings. How do you explain that? And he laughed at it.
Yeah,
like that was the dumbest question ever.
I get an email from the preacher every single day about whatever Christian I talk to that day and how he's not a real Christian because he thinks he can sin. And it gets really old. Like I totally regret even talking to the guy because he's insane. He's clearly, he's just crazy.
Well, now, I have a question for Knock. Knock knows Matt Powell probably better than anybody here on this panel.
Yeah, I think we're going to do a part 4. I think we are.
With Kent having to go to jail because October 18th, he has to turn himself in to start doing his jail time.
He does.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you think Matt is going to smuggle in for Kent to put in his man purse?
There'll be some crosses in there. Definitely a whole Bible, not the little Saint Gideon's kind or the Gideon's kind that they give you. It'll be a big one.
The one that comes with all of it.
Yeah, it'll be the extensive study version, right?
How long has he got?
Himself
How long has he got?
in one of
30
those
days,
big
I believe.
poster tubes.
Yeah, he's got to serve 30 days, but then he has, what is it, a 2-year suspended sentence?
Yeah, which I think 30 days for domestic assault is weak. We
critical.
really need to address these laws in this country.
Yeah.
You get 10 years. You get 10 years for upsetting the IRS, but
Yeah.
you assault.
yeah.
But
ridiculous.
he is trying to, I guess, repeal it and try to stay out of jail. The funny thing I hear, I feel about this is all of these young Earth creationists, as holy as they are and as literally as they take this Bible, it's crickets when it comes to Kent Hovind going back to jail. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to address it, but they still revere him as it's just the hypocrisy of all of it.
My family doesn't think he's wrong. Like, he thinks that my family thinks it's okay to beat your wife if they're not listening to you, or require that submission. So they don't necessarily think that he did anything wrong. It's just because of the laws in our country that he's being persecuted.
He's being
Oh,
persecuted.
of course.
Well, that was the argument he used last time he went.
Yeah.
That's not surprising. That male patriarchy here in America is still alive and strong, and the
It's everywhere.
under the umbrella.
It's not just America.
Yeah, and under that umbrella, like, the man is the representation of Jesus in the home, and he can do no wrong.
Yep. Abuse was very common in our church because it was believed to be okay. It was how women learned their place.
Man, and in the modern day, this is why we fight,
Exactly.
Yeah.
This
Makes me feel so lucky
You know what?
about
Not
my
your job.
background.
This is why we fight. This is why we fight.
Well, look, on a related note, that's why I make the videos that I do. Like, I want to make sure people can make informed decisions, and if I can get people interested in science, they can do so. Maybe not on this topic. This is not my fight. That's not where I can help. But when people have as much information as possible, they can make the best decisions. They can make, yes, we may not always agree with those decisions, but make sure everyone has. I can't speak. It's too late. It's nearly midnight for me. We'll ignore. I haven't had enough to drink for that to be the case. I hope.
Yeah.
It's only whiskey.
I know Rage and I, Knock and I are definitely going to get together here soon and do a live stream on what people smuggle into prison.
I am definitely going to be watching that.
Oh yeah, I've got some stories, man. You'd be surprised.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, the whole thing about what's going on, like in the South. I'm assuming, Jaded, that you're from the South, because I grew up in North Carolina, and it was very similar. It was, Southern Baptist to a core, and they lived under that male patriarchy, and the woman would come to church with a black eye, and you'd look away, and that's their business, and she probably had it coming, and you heard it all the time, and they justify it because their Bible justifies it.
Yeah, and it even went, like, I remember one lady in our church was constantly abused, and I was in a youth group with her, and the women in our youth group were constantly asking her, well, what are you doing that's making him do this? And so it was like our whole youth group session would be, what is it that caused him to beat you? And then let's teach these little girls not to do those things. And so we were learning
victim blaming,
how to accept abuse in our marriage.
You were learning victim blaming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and you create an environment where it's impossible for that person to leave, because not only is he probably telling it's her fault, but everybody else around them is as well. It creates a dynamic that just makes it impossible for these victims to seek help.
And it also makes me question your reality. Like in my relationship with my daughter's dad, we're not together anymore. He was extremely abusive, and I would, go to my mom, for example, and tell her about some of the things that he would do or say to me. And a lot of his was mental abuse, mostly. And my mom would almost change the story of what happened. And I would start to question, like, okay, was I wrong here, or did I say something wrong? And I really started to question my own reality. And then my partner was doing that to me as well, telling me that he wasn't doing these things. And so, I'm still trying to kind of get over that and remind myself that, what I experience is real. And it's hard to find that balance almost.
It's very easy to shut yourself off from what the abuse that's happened to you in any type of abusive relationship. It's very easy to block it out because that's easier than deal with it. It's very hard to actually come forward and actually say, I've been abused, I need help, and the person who abused me needs to be dealt with, because that takes an awful lot of courage, because there's this whole thing in our society of the victim's probably lying, and that really does come through.
Where we're all lucky is we're able to come into forums like this and talk about it, and be around people who will support us and who will, I guess, have each other's backs. Now, I would imagine that. I know for a fact that if someone were to come in here with a similar story to that, you would have the support from every single person here. I would imagine every single person in the chat, unless there's a few nasty lurkers. But this is why communities and good communities in the secular world are important, because there is so much damage that is done by religion.
I just like knowing that we're all more moral than these so-called, moral theists.
Yeah, they don't care about that. It comes back to that whole rapture shit we were talking about earlier. They actually don't care, because it's all about what's happening in the future and not what's happening now.
I'd actually, Jen, I'd push back a tiny bit, not because I think that the conclusion is wrong, but what I think some of the thinking is wrong. It's more of a short-term outlook. It's what I think is right now. It helps me now. There's no problem with the long term. Someone else will take care of it because there's a supernatural power that will do so.
Yes.
Well,
that's also a political thing.
I have a question.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but my 2 cents on it. Not that I really disagree, but sorry, I just wanted to add that because I think some of it is kind of quite a myopic view of the world, that it's I'm right and what's in front of me, it benefits me, and these other people, well, it's right anyway. I'm in the right. It doesn't matter.
I got a question about the rapture. Now, if and when this does happen, now I guess this thing they believe in called God is going to take everyone back up to heaven in their, God-given form, which would
all
be
the believers.
Well, yeah, and
they all fly up to space and meet Jesus. That's right. What happens.
But when they do that, are they not going to have clothes on? Because listen, I don't want to see that. Like, no.
Well, I mean, it's pretty cold in space, so you better dress warm.
Oh yeah.
There'll be some nipple showing.
In all of the Left Behind series, the reason or the way you knew was their clothes were left behind. So I think they'll be naked.
Yeah, so we got a super chat from Cryptomeria. I don't know if you meant to put something in there or just send the 5, but if you meant to put something in, it didn't send it through.
Having a look at the chat, I think it's I think that's just a bit of a support and unity kind of thing. Because
yeah, I just want to make sure, because that does happen sometimes. So,
well, and what Jada just said is fascinating, because the Left Behind series did actually portray this imagery of what Revelations is going to look like, and it's actually wrong.
Yes.
LaHaye is totally wrong when he wrote it. So when you read Revelations and you read about the rapture, and you understand that they actually fly up to Jesus, and they fly up to space and they meet Jesus there. Like, you understand, like, all of these Christians believe in the wrong shit now because of this popular series of books. Right. They don't read the Bible; they read the books.
Well, they believe in the wrong shit for a lot of reasons. The book is just one of them.
Very true.
Claire's trying to talk. What are you trying to say, Claire?
What am I trying to say? No, I know. It's just that when I first started coming here, this is the reason, because just to get the support in that what organized religion can do to somebody physically and mentally, and the fact that it causes so much damage. I don't really have a problem with what people believe. It is the organization of hurt that I fight against. It is the damage that's being done on a regular basis to individuals and groups. It's just, but this is like the best place to be. Like, it really spoke to me what you said, Chris, because it's true. You need support. You need support
and
out
we,
there.
we do need to be. I mean, look, as much as we can have a bit of a laugh and sort of poke a bit of fun at each other in good humour, we do all need to be here for each other, because I think we've all got a story, we've all got a background. Now, they're all unique. Some, I wouldn't say any are better or worse, because I think everyone's individual situation and story is theirs. But the one thing that we can do that they can't do in these religious groups is we can support each other, not because we're commanded to by a god, or because we think it's going to get us up the rung in heaven, but because we're decent people, and because we can empathize with the experiences, and even if it's a different experience, we can at least sort of say to these people coming out of religion, you know what, hey, you're not alone. It's there's other people out here, and we are here to listen, to help, and to do what we can.
Speaking of support, a little update for everybody. Later on today, I will be stopping by to see Kevin Lee and hopefully look at some drawing some sketches for the cover up for my tattoo.
Awesome.
So awesome. I'll try and make sure get some pictures of that so we have them for next week's show.
You still got to get me some deets, man, so I can get you that money.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Ed.
Send hit me up in a DM and let me know what you need, and we'll get that all straightened out.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say to Claire's point that I first made my channel, The Raging Atheist, to rage at the great harms that I seen religion do, not only to people in my family, people that I knew, but just that I could see across the spectrum, across the world, looking at Yemen, looking at Syria, just looking at Christian history and seeing all the damage done, seeing spouses being abused in their homes, trying to, I was very active in trying to bring damaged women out of their abusive relationships, getting them into halfway houses and getting therapy, because that's the most important thing. And so I was very adamant about that. And then I started talking to Christians, and I started understanding why this happens. Because once you actually start talking to them, and once you get them to justify their Bible, you understand that they can rationalize anything. The most horrible of atrocities, they're going to rationalize it. They're going to say it's not wrong because God did it. God gave us our morality, so that's that. And that's what we're fighting against, and
exactly.
And that's why we have to come together, have these conversations. People need to hear them and understand what's really going on, because most people just turn a blind eye.
No, that's so true. I'm so grateful for these channels that I have found and these voices that I hear, because silencing the conversations has been the biggest problem. Nobody has a voice anymore. In all of these organizations, you don't actually have a voice. It's only the organization's voice. You're not allowed to have an individual voice, an individual opinion. And that's wrong in any type of organization or any kind of cult-like situation. But all humor aside, that's
it's not even bad having the dumb ideas in community. The really stupid ideas like the anti-vaxxers and other people who just come out with the really stupid stuff, because it should make you think. You should have to use your critical thinking skills and go, okay, this is obviously crazy, but why is it crazy? Don't just go, it's crazy. Why is it crazy?
Well, that's why they silence the voices. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to think that way. You can't even think. You know what I mean? Well, Jade, we can't even have a thought, right? Yeah. I relate to Jade's story because of my family. You can't have a conversation without it turning into you just don't know, you must be the devil. like don't even speak at my table because you must be the devil.
Forget the 27 years that you've grown up learning this, and teaching it and going out and talking to people. You forgot all that.
Like, exactly. Like, it's not like I haven't heard everything you've said my whole life. Like, excuse me for having an opinion about it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me when the race conversation came up during the Trump eras that I'd have with my family, and I'd be, they'd be like, "Why do you call us racist?" And I'm like, "Dude, I heard you say the N-word my whole life. Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, that's a pretty good indicator. But no,
If we could just get them to realize that the BBC encompasses the globe, we could change their way of thinking.
Now, I want to say something here, because as probably with the exception of Ed, I am the only religious person on this panel. I don't know about Verillion. But I see a lot of harm in a lot of different religions, but there are some good aspects to some religions. Now, I'm not saying all religions. I mean, a lot of religions, the bad completely destroys any good that the religion can do. And if more of the religious people would focus on the good that the religion can bring, the better it would be. But a lot of them tend to focus on, the harm it does. I know we talk about Christianity a lot because that's what a lot of us know. I mean, but you look at Islam, for example, it is completely harmful and detrimental to anything if you're a female. It's just if we can move away from the hate and everything that we've been talking about so far, and just push on with the good that these religions can actually bring about, I think we would be in a better situation.
the problem is though, and it comes back to where the tenets, or where and when the tenets of the religion have come from.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the majority of the major religions of the world have come from thousands of years ago, back when it was very much a very different dynamic between men and women for a start. And I guess from a historical context, where the men had to go out and fight, and the physical aspect you can understand, but it doesn't necessarily apply in a modern context. And I think, unfortunately, we see the damage that these old, outdated beliefs do have. Now, look, sure, the whole do unto others as they would do unto you. You can cherry pick good and bad from any religion. The problem is when you've got people who are smiling, saying, it's do unto others, and doing the charity work, but then are going home and having opinions or that are completely out of line with modern society, anti LGBTQ opinions. I mean, look at Darth Dawkins and the way he treats trans people, for instance. I mean, that's
the way he spoke to Arden.
There's a classic
it was
example
the rudest
there.
piece of shit I've ever seen.
That's why we do what we do against him.
Oh yeah.
But also, the way that that women are treated in particular. And look, I remember when I got married, my mother-in-law was mortified at the wedding vows, because it's part of the way we use biblical wedding vows where she said, it's acknowledge me as head of the house and all that kind of stuff. And at the time, it was very innocent. But I look back at that now, and I realize the damage and the harm that potentially could have caused. And in particular, me having two daughters, if they were to witness that kind of behaviour moving forward. Unfortunately, I'm well and truly out of that. And I was never really, I don't think I was bad on that. But even just those little things, those little parts, those little biblical verses, those little biblical lines, the male is the head of the house. That's where the problem lies. It lies in when these things, and it's true of every religion. I mean, there's good and bad there's aspects to Islam, and there's some, most Muslim people are wonderful people who just want to get on with life. but the religion itself is the problem. And I would say that, and I know that you've got your beliefs, Jay. I think that the religion of Buddhism is ultimately harmful, but you are a decent person, and I respect that you don't necessarily think with a lot of the mainline, or I guess the problematic beliefs. I think.
I think the problem in religion comes with the levels of indoctrination. Because there are plenty of people, and there are plenty of churches where that same level of, you still get issues, but not the same issues, because it comes down to that level of indoctrination. How close that religion becomes to being a cult is the problem.
And that, and the individuals themselves. I mean, if somebody wants to be an abusive piece of shit, they're going to find a way to justify it. And if they can twist the religion and cherry pick out of it to justify their harmfulness, then
I actually think that needs to be our short-term goal in the work that we do, because we're never going to get religion outlawed in our lifetimes. It's not something that's going to go. Neither do I. But that's not something that's just going to happen. So to Jay's point, I think that we should focus more on some of the good, but at the same time, it kind of repels me, because the good that major institutional religions does often becomes their justification for the bad that they do. And so it's a very fine line to walk, but I do think that there are harmless religions out there. I look at universal Native American spirituality. I think that that's something that everybody can kind of adopt and learn from. You don't need the superstitious part of it. You look at some of the Reconstructionist things that are going on in the pagan communities. They really have a chance to cherry pick and make a solid, positive religion out of it. Now, whether or not they'll do that, that's up to them, but they have a chance to do so. So, I often try to be very clear in my disdain of Christianity and institutionalized religion, and not try to alienate, but it's a very fine line to walk, and I fail more than I succeed.
Right. It's hard because most of them don't have respect. Like the ones that are based on respect of the individual, the ones that can be tolerated outright, like the one you mentioned, but the ones that actually start out with disrespect,
Yeah, there's a confusion too, because a lot of them, if you're talking to them, they start thinking it's a personal attack. You're personally attacking me. There isn't. There's no person that. Well, there are a few exceptions. I would happily personally attack Darth Dawkins because he's a fucking prick. But that's the man himself.
That's the one you're talking about.
I don't know, the parody,
but that's different. That's where the person is an asshole, and a lot of NFIB members, they are complete and absolute assholes, and attacking them personally, I don't necessarily have a problem with. But in general, when we talk about religion and we're talking about the problems of religion, we're not talking about individuals. We're talking about the religion itself.
Yeah,
and that's very different.
The problem, and this is where the problem lies. And I've heard this. So this isn't a unique thought that I've come up with. You get bad people who do bad things, but what religion can do is it can make good people do bad things.
Yes,
it can make good people treat people in a horrible way. I remember watching a video about I think it was on 60 Minutes about, it was a young guy who he'd become an atheist, and his parents were just absolutely devout Christians. He still lived with them, but as far as they were concerned, their son had died and they were mourning him. And these seemed like really decent, caring, kind of loving people, but it was this religious belief that because their son didn't have the same belief, that they were just convinced that their son was dead, and they still had their son over, but it was like the mental. That's the
number of LGBT people I have met whose families have completely disavowed them because they were part of the LGBT community,
or tried to put them through
is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Now, Rage can verify this for me. My former religion, creativity, I've seen people literally cut their families off because they were in interracial couples or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And they would quit talking to their parents, their kids, everything. It's like, listen, even when I was in the movement, I couldn't wrap my head around that. Like, how are you just going to stop talking to your kid?
Yeah, I could never imagine that. I look at my child, and I can't imagine a day where I would have so much disdain for her I couldn't speak to her.
No,
it's an impossibility. It's not going
Jade,
to happen.
I was gonna say, Jade, aren't you kind of going through something like that?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're right there. Or?
Yeah, I haven't talked to my mom in probably a year and a half.
Oh man,
I'm sorry, Jade.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry.
No,
Normally, normally it's not like it's gotten to the point where, you know, I'm used to not talking to her and I'm used to not talking to that side of my family, but it is strictly because of religion that my family isn't talking to me. You know, my daughter and my niece haven't seen my family in that long, and they're just choosing to not be in our life because my sister and I are bisexual and we're atheists and we're on air talking about our family issues that they don't really like.
I get it if you know you don't agree with it, whatever, that's fine. But why cut your children off? Why not try and have a conversation and maybe come to an understanding?
And at least try to respect your children's choices, even if you don't agree with them.
It's a horrible thing that happens, and I literally just did a video on a group of Christians laughing about this scenario, laughing about Matt Dillahunty being shunned by his parents, and they thought it was the funniest thing that they've ever heard, and I'm like, do you not understand the psychological damage that does to a human being? You know, like can you not fathom, you know, just the absolute despair you feel in that moment? Like, no, you can't, because you're the person doing it, you know.
And they think that they're doing what's right. They like, my mom legitimately believes that this is how I'm going to come back to Christ is, you know, they're not condoning the choices that I'm making. They're giving me tough love, and eventually I will come back to Christ if they continue this path.
And that's the thing. That's they're doing what, as messed up as it is. Yeah, they're doing what they think is right, and that's the horrible thing. And it's all because of this book that was written 2,500 years ago. But what I do want to say is, from Godless Scummer, and I think from all of us,
Hugs, Jade.
Absolutely, Jade.
We love you, and we're all here for you anytime.
Right.
It's hard to replace blood family, but each and every one of us are here, and you've got us.
Oh, I know. I absolutely love all of you, and I'm so thankful for this space. And it's been a kind of rough couple weeks, and I've just so appreciated everyone on this channel and this community. And I definitely don't think that I would be doing as well without having people that understand and talk to me and stuff. So thank you all very much.
But by the same token, by you coming on here and doing what you do and sharing your story, you're letting people out there know that they're not alone.
Yeah,
that is so powerful and so impactful for people. It's just that's the worst thing when you come out of it.
So many people encounter the same things.
Yeah,
and
I've got a friend in the trans community who just recently, her parents told her straight out, you can never come and visit us again unless you show up as our son.
Verlin, you wanted to say something?
To which she turned around and said, well, you're never going to see me again. But you shouldn't have to say that.
Yeah.
That should never be a thing.
Sorry, Jenna. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you stopped.
No, sorry. I just paused.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Brilliant.
I was just going to say that Jaded is showing that you don't have to feel guilty about being who you are. You don't have to feel guilty about being told that you're not what you are inside.
Yeah.
And it's not a you problem, it's a them problem.
Oh, definitely a them problem.
Right.
Hey, don't forget, the offer still stands. You want me to have a conversation with that kid someday, you just let me know, huh? We'll handle that.
Oh, good. I don't think I'd want that one-on-one with God. No.
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
It's just my thoughts on it, because when I think about these, I mean, it makes me feel how fortunate I am to have the background I had. Because yes, I was brought up religious, but I was in one of those more fortunate ones where it was nowhere near as harmful. The people around me were genuinely, for the most part, very lovely people. But I see this and many of the other problems that have been brought up as the underlying factor here is not necessarily, oh, these people were religious and these people are not, and that's what's going on. But yes, there's minutiae in there, but it's to do with the information we've got. People have been told or have come to understand incorrect perceptions of reality. Their framework, which they build their basis for how they see the world, is broken somewhere. It's incorrect. And if we could get people to realize you can always be wrong and you have to question it, because that's the one thing, at least when I come here, I know that I can disagree with every other person on this panel, and it's not going to get me kicked off. As long as I'm not rude about it. I mean, of course, I could probably do something to get kicked off, but I'm not going to try.
Wait till you see what happens when you criticize Buddhism with old mate next to me.
And so it's about that kind of basic framework. And when we want to talk about these differences, it's people who don't understand or at least can't comprehend what it's like to be in the other person's shoes, because they've been brought up, they've come to understand, they've been told, whatever the reason is, that their understanding of how it works is wrong. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, why I love to talk about science. One, because it's an area that I can actually do. I probably can't get on and do the sorts of debates that other people on this panel do, but I can do science. I like that because it is my job of trying, or at least I see it as a responsibility to try and make sure that we let people know the most accurate understanding of the world around us, because that's what allows us to make the best informed decisions that hurts the least amount of people. I don't really know what to say after that.
I agree.
I think you raise a good point, and I think it comes to a bigger point in, I think all of us here, because we've all got our own unique story, our own unique skill set, we all bring something different. Like I wouldn't even try and debate science, but I'll take people on all day on history and the Bible. But then everything complements everything. We've all got that background. We've all got. I'm going to use a weird analogy here. Who remembers Captain Planet?
He's a hero.
Okay.
I don't think I'm old enough to remember it.
No, you're not.
You still know what it is. That's a funny thing. There was all the different elements, and there was earth, fire, wind, water. They all were different, but then when they all worked together, they could defeat anything. And that's kind of like, I think, what we can do.
Now I'm just thinking of the Rick and Morty version,
which is kind of
You
the
just
same
nailed
thing
it.
as Voltron and.
Well, I think you just nailed it. It's what I've always said. I take my approach because my approach worked for me. Outrage worked for me. Like, when I saw Matthew Shepard die, that's what brought me out of my homophobia, because I was just so outraged that my humanism kicked in, and I'm like, I can't hate these people like that. That's just wrong. And it brought me out. So that I use that approach, and I'm very Bible. I was a Bible thumping Baptist growing up, so I know the Bible. So I tend to have those types of debates. And, I'm not afraid of anything. So I'll jump into a science debate and I'll lose. And that's why, people like you, Almost a Doctor, is vital, because people that know science need to be the ones talking about it. Matt Powell will corner me and try to have a debate on evolution because he understands fundamentally I'm not a scientist. Well, he's never going to come at you because there's somebody like you. They're going to be able to combat the nonsense.
I'm sure.
Right? All I can think about Matt Powell now is dinosaur farts.
Yeah, he'll try and get me on something that is in my area, because that's the thing people underestimate with this, is that to be an expert in an area is so hard. I wouldn't even call myself an expert. I mean, on any particular area. Yes, there are things I've been studying for how long, so I know it more than the average person, but that's the case for anything you study for however many years. But when people say, "Oh, I know scientists," or all these scientists say that, I'm like, which ones? You got 400 years of knowledge. You got to compartmentalize it, because it's not possible to know it all.
Exactly.
And I guess that's what you were maybe you're getting at, Rage, as well, is that we have our areas. We stick to those. Mine is science. I enjoy doing that, although I do like history as well.
And we need that joint effort. We need all those different angles, because every angle is important.
And on that note, if anyone ever does want a scientist, you can send me a message.
Now, the thing about that is that most of those people who come in at you and want to argue with you over evolution or physics or biology or anything like that, their understanding of the subject is usually at a lower high school level, and they think they know what they're talking about. And anyone who's gone any further than high school and studied any topics, which most of us here have studied beyond that, you go, yeah, that's not how any of this works.
Yeah.
And don't argue with. I mean, I can tell you what I know from my perspective, but go and talk to somebody who actually really knows what they're talking about and cite some papers, because that's how we actually do science.
Now, see, that's where my background comes in with this community, because I did not grow up in a religious background at all. I don't have the hangups, and there are some hangups from those that coming from religion, out of religion, because from my point of view and my perspective, is a lot of times those that came out of religion and are now atheists or even anti-religious, they've seen the harm firsthand, and they're hung up on the harm that is done. I can look at it from an outside perspective and go, look, this makes no sense. If you actually look at it and take your religious background and your religious now and look at what is saying and look at what is being done, this makes no sense. And that's where a lot of times my background comes into perspective, because I don't have those hangups. I can see it from a different point of view. Other people can't. And that's one of the reasons I'm here. Even though I am Buddhist, I don't push my religion onto anybody. I don't talk about it a lot. I mean, frankly, Buddhism is really boring to talk about. There's, and I'll admit that. I mean, it is a religion that is kind of boring to talk about. But I don't have that I can't say hate, because it's not so much hate, but dislike for the religion you came out of. So I can see it from a different perspective, where I can give a different aspect of it.
You're also not fundamentalist with your beliefs. You're pretty chill. So, yeah.
And I was just thinking, if we got Dr. Josh in here, we could significantly raise the IQ level in the chat.
No, hey, I'm the resident historian here. You know, so I have to fight it.
Debate Chris and Dr. Josh on history.
Well, actually, maybe Dr. Josh can work with me. I'm looking to put together that a third-year course for academic ancient aliens. So you can work with me on that. Sorry, Dave, you were going to say something.
I was just going to say, like, I did grow up in, a very fundamental household. So my perspective is a little different. And I suppose that I do probably focus on the worst parts of it. I can admit that there were, some things that were good in what I learned. And, some of how I was raised did make me who I am today and did make me more empathetic and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, and this is where I kind of struggle with, is religion good or not? At the end of the day, if I can be a good person without religion, and in my opinion, probably more of a good person without religion than I was as a religious person, why do we need religion, period? Like, you don't need a religion to tell you. I don't feel like you should need a religion to tell you to be a good person. I don't feel like you should need a religion to tell you how to live your life. So if we can do all of that without religion, then what is the point of having something that we have to live by?
Exactly.
Yeah, I call it cultural. It's ingrained in our cultural identity, and that's kind of what we're fighting against. Because when people in real life don't like to have these conversations because they don't think about it, and if you force them to start thinking about it, they get very uncomfortable and they'll lash out naturally as human beings. So it's something that people believe, but they don't know why they believe. And if you challenge that automatically makes you the bad guy.
Right.
There's also that aspect of responsibility. Religion lets you remove some responsibility from yourself to a certain extent, in that you can, the devil made me do it, or, I don't have to worry about the future because the rapture. All those sort
I'm
of
just
things are
doing
ways
God's
of
work.
Depending on
Yeah,
which.
I'm doing God's work. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to run because it's gone to 20 past 12 where I am, so I'm going to actually let Jay have his show now.
Well, I was going to wrap it up here in just a couple minutes. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just amazing. This is the first time the pre-show, post-show has actually been more serious than the actual show.
Yeah,
we're gonna fix that.
Sometimes we have these ones where it's unplanned, but we get some gold out of it. And I think,
Oh no, I love
had
it
some
when
gold. I
Well,
think it's
Jay
one of the
has
oldest
some more
ones.
gold for us.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hang on, I got to pull it back up because she took it down.
You got a couple of things, haven't you?
Uh-oh.
We'll leave it on a
Are we ready?
But before we drop the serious part, I just want to say, anyone who's out there who's watching this, who is struggling, please reach out. Please, just anonymously or publicly, whatever works for you. Reach out. It's it's even if we can't necessarily help, we may.
And we're
be
doing a
able to
focus
point you
show
in
in
the
a
right
few weeks on that, being able to reach out because
So
when we
on
come
the
back
couch,
on the couch, we'll be.
So here's a little giggle for you.
Ed.
What the
Oh, that's great.
That's great. That's
It's a
good.
well-placed banana too. Look at it. Oh god, it's so good.
That could be one of those hospital X-ray pictures.
Now
yeah.
I'm going to take
Excuse
that,
me,
cut it out,
Mr.
and put it in someone's stomach as an X-ray thing.
I got to be careful with the wording here because we share the first same first name. Yeah, I can talk. Sorry, it's as late for me as it is for Chris. But it's like, yes, excuse me, sir, but I don't think you fell over backwards onto your vegetable patch.
Yeah.
Were you there? Were you there?
Ed was.
There was a dinosaur running around.
It wasn't an asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Jay turned around too quick.
Speaking of X, we were talking.
Are you
X-rays
suggesting
earlier.
a testicle made the crater at the Yucatan Peninsula? Are you?
Oh god, what is that? What is in there?
The nipple piercings.
Nipple piercings. Oh yeah.
Now we have a super chat from Bottle of Scummer. 5 of the Queen's finest pound. Matt Powell has a giant inflatable banana in his backyard that he calls Dr. Peel. # never forget.
Never forget.
Yeah, it's down in Dr. Dino land now.
A big banana and a big dinosaur riding it.
That's a visual.
Look at that. They're out near the water.
You know Dr. Josh can do it better.
I am but the apprentice when it comes to Dr. Josh is the master. I do a pretty mean Shmee Dawkins way.
So I'm looking at the bottom right one going, how on earth that looks...
That's not possible, right? Like, that's not possible, is it? Like,
Someone had a good Christmas in the middle there.
Yeah. I knew this was going to be a great Google search. Like,
And the excuse was Santa thought it was the chimney.
Yeah, Claire. All I typed in was X-ray ER X-ray pictures, and that was the first one that popped up.
I got work to do for tomorrow night's stream. I can see it's going to be big.
Look out.
Yeah.
That hurt. That hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Well, hey, I just want to say this has been an unexpected, really good conversation.
Yeah,
and a really cool.
It was
stream.
fun.
So thank you, everyone.
I love those organic conversations like that wherever they happen. They're the real ones, the ones that have to be heard.
It was a very old school 6-pack, actually. It was,
Yeah, certainly good.
It was OG without. Oh, actually, we did have OG, didn't we?
Yeah, for a little bit.
I think a future 6-pack's going to be reading Etangelo's Facebook
It's fun times. I have fun.
From almost a doctor, hashtag Santa, that's not the sack I wanted filled.
Oh, dear.
That went there.
This would be funny, but I don't know how long Ed would be able to keep it up.
He loses it every time Shmee comes on. Actually, did you notice that Shmee came on and then Ed's all of a sudden he's back to himself? Oh, yeah,
He got very flustered.
He did. You just cannot resist her. It's obvious.
Oh, trust me, I can resist. It's not.
I don't know. I think you protest too. Oh my
What
god!
the actual?
Wait. Well, that's a sentence disruptor.
I guess that's putting another spin on the phrase. You got to love the Second Amendment for America.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't love
that's
that
taking
much.
the right to bear arms to an extreme. That is.
Hey, I just want to shout out.
You're hiding a concealed weapon.
Welcome to the membership.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Brilliant, for becoming a YouTube member.
In a month's time, you will get your special Edmoji. Well, actually, you can Edmoji now. You can Edmoji to your heart's content. But you'll get the little Ed next to your name after a month.
I'm gonna miss Ed, little Moji. I'm gonna miss that.
I know, but that's okay. We can. Why have one Ed month when we can have many Ed months?
That's what I keep saying. Like, let's go to the end of the year. Ed, it's like never ending.
Why did I have to become friends with you people?
We ask ourselves that all the time.
All the time.
You're like one of those Catholic priests that like whips themselves as a torture.
Oh yeah.
This is your penance.
Oh.
Well, I've never been called a penance before. This is pretty cool. I don't know. I have to chalk that off my list.
From Sandy, I told you if you waved that thing at me again, I'd shove it up your arse.
They did too, Sandy. They did.
As long as Wizard is on YouTube, but Edmoji.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeff.
Who doesn't love an Edmoji?
So speaking of some of our favorite anti people, we got any more votes coming up, Chris?
Well, I'm going to run them over the 2 weeks that. Well, I guess we're off. We're not doing the live. We'll still have videos coming out, but we're gonna have everything run up. I'm pretty sure that the actual awards are going to be part of the. I'm weighing up if we do it as part of the 100th six pack. I think it could be a cool thing. It's all whether we just do a special 100 sort of celebration. It's probably something that I'll talk to my boss Jay.
We're going to do a musical six pack too, are we?
A musical six pack.
The musical. Musical. Oh wow, no, that's hard work. That one.
Oh,
too much
effort. The musical.
Yeah, we can just see Ed come out going, "I miss you, Smee. I love you, Smee. Whenever you're around, you make me feel great."
Oh, yeah. I can see the musical now. Oh my god. Yeah.
So right now over on the community page we have the vote for in the fundies favorite flat earther and best rage quitter. As of right now,
I think we know who's winning the.
Right now, favorite flat earther Bobby Mack is got a huge lead against everybody else, and best rage quitter Darth has got a little bit of a lead against Matt Dillahunty. So
okay.
Really.
The irony is, we're an atheist channel. We've probably got a better chance of Darth showing up than Matt Dillahunty. But anyway.
So on this note, Sandy says I miss the dancing. I have asked everybody to send me a dancing video.
Oh, I keep forgetting. Sorry, Jay. My bad.
I did get one from Jade, but I did have to tell her I needed a little bit.
We'll run it at the end.
There's one on my Twitter, Jay, of the bears dancing with a duck. Did you see it?
No, I didn't. You'd have to send me that.
Yeah. We don't want to know what
it's
the bear
an avatar.
Is doing.
Well, it's only an avatar, but I'm wearing a bear suit.
And the dancing video, I want to get a dancing video done. It is not just the people on Six Pack. If you want involved in the dancing video, send me a video at least a minute long because I need to cut.
Oh, that's gonna be
pieces out of
lit.
it.
Yeah,
I need to
okay.
cut. I need to be able to cut sections out of it to put it in different places. So I need it at least a minimum of a minute long. So if you want
Alright.
involved in the dance video, I got to get the video. So yeah,
Send them through.
send them
Send
through.
them through.
Best bet is if you can email it to us.
Mhm.
At the email address, but I believe it's in. It's not in
Yeah,
here.
it should be down there. It's heretical6pack@gmail.com.
Yeah. Oh no, Sandy, no. That's the whole point. You pick your beat, you pick your dance. I'll put it together and then add music to it. That's the
because like I picked Barbie Girl and Jay was mesmerized by waiting for my tits to pull out of their bra. So
You know what? It's almost hypnotic. It's just like, are they going? Are they going? Are they going?
Are they going?
I was like, I don't think I can look at Jen in the face, square in the eyes again.
up here, not down here.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But to the question, Mr. Grumpy, are you trying to seduce us with those dance moves? Those dance moves are for Shmee.
Maybe that's how we got Shmee.
I think so.
Oh, yes.
Oh man!
I mean, she is a bit schmitten with him.
When? They're so funny. That was cute.
They could have danced all night.
Bit of love is in the air. Whenever Ed and Shmee are around. Yeah, what's the old Cat Stevens song? Father and Son. We could get Ed and Darth doing that. Yeah.
No.
The cat's in the cradle.
The cat's in the cradle. Ed and Darth. Yeah, Darth arrived just the other day.
Oh.
Jen. Yeah, they were dead set. They were.
Yeah, we got to hang on. We get it into here a little bit where she starts actually.
Oh, the jumping, yeah. It's just like, no, they're going.
It's a good bra, that one.
Hey, you know what? You got your money's worth.
That they have to do a lot of work. It has to do a lot of work, that bra.
So, just so you guys know, that video is. Where? Hang on. God damn it! Bring it back up. Just over 3 minutes long.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
3 minutes 6 seconds long. So
apparently, Art wants us to do a duet, Chris.
Maybe we can do that. We'll rock it out.
All right. Well, I got to get going.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up there. Everyone, thank you for a wonderful stream. We'll be back in a fortnight. I'm going to try and wrangle as many of these beautiful people in as often as I can,
disgusting.
and Ed. Well, yeah, that's
I like that.
could happen, you know.
That's disgusting.
Well, I think we all need to have a bit of respect for Ed's other half here.
So
now that he's become a what is it? A Mormon with all the multiple wives.
I think Ed wants to start singing "Shmee, release me, let me go."
Oh.
Ooh.
All right. So just a reminder, Hereticals
hot in here.
Hereticals will be out for the next 2 weeks as we take our fall break. So no cults and conspiracies, no six pack, but we will probably be dropping some stuff in between. We will be back in basically 3 weeks, because 2 weeks off and then the following week. But anyways, so catch us back then. I think I do agree, Chris. I think we need to look at Otangelo's Twitter feed. I mean Facebook feed.
That could be a whole show all on its own.
That's going to be the next six pack. Reading Otangelo's Facebook.
Although to be fair, we hardly got through one of his pages on his blog when Matt and I did that. So it's hard slog going through Antangelo's stuff.
Oh, but some of the comments are beautiful. What I'll probably do is I'll probably poke the bear a little bit in the days leading up. You know, there's some comments that can be made. I think.
And Sandy, there will be stuff over the next few weeks. There just won't be a 6-pack per se, but you'll probably find things like maybe Matt and I will go, oh, let's do a show on a Friday just to have some fun.
And over on my channel,
and
over on my channel within the next 2 weeks, hopefully we'll get Ed on so we can watch his slap fighting.
Yeah.
And I will be doing a stream. I just got to figure out what day and do a little bit more research on serial killers.
Ooh.
So I'll probably do
like
a stream at some point, but it's just going to be like a random out of nowhere. Yeah. I'm just going to hit the go live button and just say hello to everyone. But definitely we're back for 6-pack and on the couch will be coming up as well, which is Jen and Jay. That I am looking forward to.
Yeah, my video should go out tomorrow night.
What was that, Matt?
My video should go out tomorrow night.
Yep.
In case people want to.
So about the time that you'd normally, a little bit earlier than you'd normally expect Matt and I to be doing our show. Matt's putting out his thing. There won't be our show on tomorrow night, but we are thinking of doing one maybe sometime during the week where we get all the people who are involved with making Matt's video, and we're going to talk about Matt's videos.
Oh, Knock, cool. You got anything coming up, buddy?
Shit always pops off. So.
Do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about?
No, I've been sick, so I haven't scheduled anything. But yeah, I mean, it'll pop off sometime this weekend with somebody. I'm sure.
You always get the pop offs. I just didn't know if you had a special video you wanted to.
I'm planning on getting back to scheduling stuff, but I've kind of taken my own little break recently myself, so I haven't had any conversations recently. But something will happen. It always does.
And
I forgot.
Not saying pop off, and all the Aussies have a little stinker to ourselves, like we're back in the playground because pop off means something different in Australian.
It does.
I just remembered I have Riley's PDF from his paper on Flat Earth. So.
Ooh, that could be fun. Just quickly from Scummer, if Ed plays his cards right here, might get more than a lap dance from Shmee.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Brilliant. Anywhere we can find you? You got anything you're doing you want to talk about?
No, I'm just a listener, viewer. I don't do anything like the YouTubes.
Well, you did tonight, so that's brilliant.
I did tonight.
It's good fun.
Yeah.
We do see you in Discord.
Yeah, he's good fun in the chats too. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
Jay, do you have anything on your channel coming up?
No, I have been getting lots of personal feedback about my stuff, and it's causing issues in my family. So I am kind of taking a break from doing my own personal stuff, and just trying to get through things.
I was going to say, you're not reading the YouTube comments, are you?
No, I haven't really done a whole lot of social media either, to be honest. I've been doing TikTok. I've been having lots of fun posting stupid little videos on TikTok. And that's just kind of my own personal stress relief right now. But anything else that I do on social media comes back to bite me in the butt at the moment. So
yeah, I do got to say that what happened to Kelly was bullshit.
Oh, yeah. I know. My husband just got to 12K followers on TikTok, and he's using it as his stress relief too. And they banned him for making a chopping video. He's
man.
Was that it? I thought it was because he went down didn't he go down during the live where you guys were doing the workout?
Yep. And yeah, so he got his first strike violation for chopping stuff. Like he was chopping an onion on his video. That got taken down. Then he had a lighter in another video. That one got taken down. And then we were on a live stream working out, and someone reported him for sexual nudity during our workout, and his whole account got banned.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
It really is.
TikTok and YouTube are so fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why
crazy.
if you a lot of the big TikTok creators are leaving and going to different, like Clapper and High Note and whatnot. So
that's kind of what he's thinking, because he started his second account and he's already gotten 3 violations. So they're warning him that they're going to ban this one too.
Oh my God.
So
but then I can go on.
Yep.
He'll do his with his shirt off and get sexual nudity stuff, but then I go
Mhm.
on in like bras and it's completely fine.
Go figure.
That's crazy.
I wonder if I could get a violation for posting the first bit of my video that got taken off YouTube.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that
I
stayed on
think so.
YouTube as long as it did.
I am actually. I really amazed, but
those 2 videos of my TikToks I showed you guys, I shorted them and put them on my YouTube. Immediately got copyright claims on both of them.
Right?
Tell you what, though,
Oh.
I've got a really good idea of the people in the community who are only watching it to get their jollies, because I've had them all either DM me or write messages saying, "What happened to the video? I miss it." And they're all
using it.
guys. Every
They've
single
been
one.
using it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for all those views that I now no longer have, but that's all awesome.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up here. This has been fun, important topics. Next time we come on, lots more fun. 3 weeks, we may end up just doing a whole stream and just Twitter stuff, social media, because
again,
it's gonna be 3 weeks of just piling and piling and piling up. So, for all of us here at Hereticals, thank you for coming. For the chat, you guys, you are always a member of the party too. It's not just the ones you see here on YouTube. We do interact and we do appreciate those that join us. From all of us here at Hereticals, I have been Jay, that's been Chris, that's been Matt, that's been Jen, that's been Claire, that's been Jade, that's been Knock, that's been Brilliant, and that's been God. Thank you all for coming, and have a good night.
And be water, Jade, friends.
See you later.
And be water, my friends.
Try not to choke on the selfie stick.